Hi Stampers, it's Becky Roberts with Inking Idaho. Today I have some cute little projects to share with you for Valentine's Day. What we're going to do today is we're going to make the toppers for these bags, so even though these are Valentine's, you could actually make them for any occasion. So let's go ahead and get started. The products that we're going to use today is the Love Bug stamp set, the little sacks from Fun Stamper's Journey, the dies to cut them out. We're going to use the Journey rectangle circles and the Heartfelt Heart dies as well. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to stamp the Love Bug on the red cardstock. I'm going to use the Black Licorice Journey ink. And you need 2 of these. So I'm going to stamp one and then the other. And one of them you are going to cut out using the die that's made for it. Makes it super easy. The other one you're going to hand cut out because we just need the body portion of it. So we'll set this aside here. You bring that guy in, and we need a mat, a foam mat, a mouse pad, and a stylus. This is the Journey Bloom tool, but you just need anything that has a large stylus on the end of it. And you're just going to start gently until you start breaking down the fibers, and you're going to take your stylus in a circle position, and you're just going to go over the whole thing. Whoops, mine just came apart. So you're going to start in the center, and you're just going to go over the whole thing pretty gently with your stylus, just to kind of create a circular shape or a little bit of a bubble in there. It's really easy to do. It doesn't take a lot of time or pressure. It's pretty easy to do. And then when you turn it over, you can see that we have now a shape that is a little circular, so that it adds some dimension to our ladybug when we put them on there. So the next step is to take the Journey glaze and to just squirt it all over the body of the ladybug and let it dry. This does take a few minutes to dry, and when it's dry, it just looks nice and shiny and clear. So we will take a foam square dot, which I already put on here, and position this right there and put him on. Just scoot him a little bit. There we go. This particular one I did just a few minutes ago, and I kind of hurried it so that it would dry so I could do the video. And apparently it doesn't like to be heat set because it has a couple of little white bubbles in it. So after I put the whole thing together, whoops, there goes one. After I put the whole thing together, I will just add a little bit more Journey glaze on top of it, and it'll be perfect. I'm using the Wiggle Eyes from Fun Stamper's Journey, self-adhesive little eyeballs, to put on him, and now the ladybug is pretty much done. So we're going to set that one aside. We're going to work on the bag. This bag is about 4 3/4 inches wide, and it's already got the gussets on the side, and they are about 1 inch wide. So I'm just going to fold this up about 1 inch. Just eyeball it. It doesn't have to be exactly perfect because none of them are made exactly the same. So we're just going to go forwards and backwards at about 1 inch, which on these bags is about where the natural bottom is anyway. And then you're just going to open it up, and you're just going to flatten it out. Stick your hands in there and just start to flatten it out to create the bottom. And because this is really, really loud on the camera, I'm just going to show you the one that I have already finished. And this is where I just put the bottom in there. So just keep working with it. Stick your hands down in there and just create the bag itself. So now we have our bag and our ladybug ready to go. So let's create the topper that goes with it. The topper is a piece of cardstock that's 5.5 by 4 1/4. Now remember that I said my bag was 4 1/4, so that's how I knew what measurements to start with. And then folding it in half, all I did was just kind of eyeball to see about how tall I wanted my baggy topper to be. So for this bag, I chose one that was 5.5 by 4 3/4. So you're going to fold it in half, and you're going to crease it with the crease tool. And then you're going to put it in your die cut machine with the rectangle die from the Journey rectangles. Remember, that was this one. And you're going to run it through, and it's going to poke out the rectangle just like this. Now, once I got that through, I decided that I wanted a little texture on it, so I put it in the Journey embossing folder with the circles, and I just put it in half, ran it through my machine, turned it over, put the other half inside, lined it up, ran it through my machine, and now I have a little embossed baggie topper. So I wanted my corners rounded, so I brought in my 1-inch circle punch, and I am just going to stick this in the top of the punch. You just kind of wedge it in there and cut it out, and then just do the other side again, fold it in half and just wedge it in there and create your circles. And now you have little rounded corners for the top. Cute, huh? Okay, next up, we're going to put some candy in our bag. And we are going to just fold it over. And then for this one, I'm just going to go ahead and staple it closed. And then I'm just going to shake it around right here and make sure that it stands up perfectly straight. Then I'm going to take the baggie topper, and I'm actually going to use the top of my bag right here for the bottom of my rectangle, and that helps me just line it up so that I know that it is straight. And then I'm going to take my stapler and I'm going to slide it in backwards, and I'm going to staple it just a little bit off to the side where I know that I'm going to be covering it with the heart. And I staple mine backwards so that you don't get any hurt fingers on the back of this. Alrighty, we're going to slide that aside, and we are going to get some hearts going here. I have the heart dies with a sticky eye on it. That's funny. I have the heart dies, so I cut out a white one and I ran it through the same embossing folder. And then I cut out another white one and a black and white stripe one from an extra bag that I had. So I will adhere these two pieces together. Just stick that on there. This paper bag is just really flimsy, so I just want to make sure that it's a little bit more secure. So I just add a piece of cardstock to it. And then we're going to use some foam squares and put a couple of these on here. Peel them off, and stick them inside, or stick it on that heart right there. Okay, so now we are going to put our ladybug on there. So I'm going to put a glue dot on the back and put her about right there. And then I have some words from the stamp set that I've already cut out, and that is the love bug. So I used the, let me find it again here. So I used the love bug stamp, and I used the dies to cut it out. No more hand cutting, yay. And I'm going to use one of the small Journey foam squares and put that on, and we're just going to sit that off a little bit like that. Now, just to add some fun, I have a feather that I bought in a whole package of them. I use a lot of feathers at Valentine's Day. It just kind of dresses things up and makes them cute and unexpected. So just take off the shreds and then just tame it the best you can and stick it down in here. And it eventually catches onto the edge of one of the little glue dots so that it stays. Okay, that's nice and messy. And then we'll put that little guy right there. But the first thing we want to do is take some Journey twine. We're taking the black and white licorice, and I'm just going to go around this about 3 times. Cut it off. There we go. And we're just going to tie it. will. I just got them all off the top here. There we go. And you can just tie it in the center, the side, wherever you want to, because you can pick it up and move it when you're done. So no worries about that. So we'll tie it in a bow, and then we're just going to trim these. And I'm actually going to move it over to the right-hand side. And then I'm just going to position my little ladybug right here on a couple of foam squares. Peel this off. And we will just put her right down there. So isn't that cute? Just a cute little treat sack. Let me bring in the others and show you. Here's the other red one that I did. And the black and white one. So cute. Just use different bugs, different words. And then the one that is kind of the oatmeal cookie color. So those are your treat bags for today. Thank you for joining me. Happy Valentine's Day. For more information, you can check out my blog at inkingidaho.com. Have a great day. Bye-bye.